Getting enough sleep is a very important thing. We know that sleep is important for memory and for learning. There's a big issue today in terms of electronic media and how electronic media interferes with sleep. Many adolescents sleep far less than they should. So getting enough sleep, I think, is a basic requirement for performance and functioning. If we look at top athletes, they prioritize sleep very much, and some studies have shown that if you increases the sleep among athletes, their performance will actually improve. I would say that good sleep has two specific elements to it. One is that the sleep duration should be of sufficient length, and the quality of sleep should also be sufficiently good. Teens should have, according to new recommendations, approximately 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day, and adults should have approximately 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day. That is the sleep duration, but in addition, the quality of the sleep should be also good enough. That means that you should have enough deep sleep, and you should also have enough rapid eye movement sleep. And you should not have too many awakenings and not have too fragmented sleep. So both the duration and the quality of sleep should be sufficient in order to call it good sleep. Bad sleep will probably mean that you sleep far less than you should. School performance and work performance will typically be impaired. Also, mental health can be impaired. We know that, for instance, insomnia is a risk factor for developing depression. And also, studies have shown that if you are chronic sleep deprived, the risk of also somatic diseases increases. I think there are several reasons people sleep poorly. There are specific sleep disorders. Some of them have a more kind of somatic origin. One common sleep disorder of a more somatic origin is sleep apnea, where the person typically have a lot of breathing stops during sleep. This is a disorder that often goes undetected, and the symptoms are typically snoring, breathing pauses. Overweight people have an increased risk of this disorder, etc. Another very common sleep disorder is insomnia, where people have difficulty falling asleep or difficulty maintaining sleep. And often these people have the tendency to worry, and they often compensate for their poor sleep by a lot of actions that actually in the long run impair sleep. They, for instance, stay in bed for 12 hours each day. So if you stay in bed awake for many hours every night, you will associate the bed with wakefulness. So the bed and the bedroom won't trigger the natural sleep response. We know that there is a link between poor sleep and use of social media, especially use of social media in the evening and also, of course, during nighttime. And actually studies suggest that the causality goes in both directions. We know that excessive use of social media can interfere with sleep, but also that if you are not able to sleep, you often use social media to cure boredom and sleeplessness. And some has also been concerned about the light emitted from screens when you use social media. That can also have an effect on wakefulness, that people become more awake, and also that the circadian rhythm might also be delayed if you are exposed to a lot of light from these screens in the evening. So there are several mechanisms that we know may be in play that suggest that social media use or other electronic media typically impairs sleep. Well, studies have shown that adolescents need approximately 8 to 10 hours of sleep every day, but studies show that they typically get far less sleep than that. And meta-analysis investigating how the sleep of adolescents has changed during the last 100 years suggests that they sleep 50 minutes later each day now than they did 100 years ago. So many adolescents sleep far less than they should. And of course that has serious implications in terms of education, the ability to function well at school and the ability to memorize and learn is significantly impaired by that.